Hey everybody. Um, the heartbreaking news is we're losing our cat Boo. He's stopped eating. He's barely drinking. He's way too skinny. He's lost a lot of weight. Not eating his treats. He's not eating food of any kind, you might as well say. And we certainly don't have the money. Honey, you might want to get a box of tissues ready because I don't know how long I can even do this live stream without crying myself. Boo's dying. He's not eating. He's barely drinking. And I was just saying moments ago, he's way too skinny. His stomach is so small. It's the size of you might as well say it could be even as small as a plum. He's not eating treats. He's not eating food of any kind, really. And he's barely drinking any liquid. And he's hiding a lot. So he's dying, and we don't know how much longer he's going to be around. It's like I had trouble sleeping last night myself because I was terrified I was going to have a dream where I was going to wake up and find him dead. And today's Maria's birthday, of all things. I certainly would not want him to die, period. But on her birthday, that would be, I think, worse because, she already has trouble dealing with the fact that her husband Kenny on Halloween, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, whatever it's up to now. Yeah, I will. It's on a lighter side for a minute. It's been a very weird day today. That's all I can tell you. But I've been looking up stuff about American Curls, their diet, their, 6 signs when your cat's dying. And he's doing a couple of them already. The not eating, not drinking, and hiding a lot. Then there's other times when it's like he can't get enough loving. And so if I'm doing something or if Chris is doing something, we'll stop whatever we're doing and just, give him that time, give him as much time as we can. And I've got this on public, so I will try to be careful what I say. Not get too personal, about stuff. But that's why I was warning people, those that, like you, that would possibly be able to come on right now, that if you know me and Boo and you know how much we love him and all that, even though I didn't put that in the description thing, don't watch this because it's going to make you cry, because I've been crying off and on because just within the past, I don't know, it seems to me, I want to say days, but it may be as long as weeks. And here's the kicker to make matters worse, as if that's not bad enough. We don't know how old he is. We've never been able to determine how old he is before we even got him. And Chris said that we've had him at least 4 or 5 years. So it may just be his time. He may just be old, and at the end of his lifespan, because I read one of the things about American Curls is their typical lifespan is between 12 and 16 years. And because we can't determine his age, that could be a factor. And we have no money to take him to a vet, so we can't find out, anything that way. And I'm already crying over it because I can feel it coming. It's the witch in me. I've lost enough pets. I can feel it coming. And our last resort that we're going to try, and I know Maria, and she loves him as much as we do, just like as if it was one of her babies, because she was here when Moochie died. She saw the whole thing, and it hurt her as much as it did us. I know it did. So, because she was crying right along with us, and Chris was out. He had just pulled up in the back, and he didn't even get in here quick enough, before Moochie died. She died literally before he even walked in the door. And it was terrible. And now we're about to go through it again. So, because we have no money to have a vet look at him or anything like that either, it's just, and we probably can't afford to get him euthanized, because the only way we could do that without having to pay for it, not that we wouldn't if we had the money, but we just simply don't. If we could take him into one of these places that would euthanize him, like a veterinary clinic, maybe even, and say, look, this is a stray we found in our neighborhood, or, a friend of mine just found this cat roaming their neighborhood. It's half dead. Could you please just put it to sleep? We have cats ourselves. We know what this can feel like, and this is really tearing up our friend. So could you please just put this poor thing to sleep if he really is that gone? All we know about him is his name's Boo. He's very friendly. He's a very loving cat. And I say that because my friend, I haven't known that long, and, they just moved into an area. You can't come right out and say it's your pet, because if you do, then they're going to charge you something. And like I said, if we had the money, if money wasn't an issue, we would have already taken him to the vet. And it's not one of those things. I know that, like, for instance, I know one of the reasons, like, they like to hide is because they don't want us to see them go through it, because they know how much it hurts us to see them go through it. And I don't just see them go through it. I feel it. I feel like I'm dying myself. And it's heartbreaking. It really is. But if they die while they're hidden somewhere that we can't get to, how long are they going to be laying there dead before we even, the smell would be, of course, the first indicator, because we would smell, because usually they say, like, their bowels give out, and they're, if there's any pee left in their bladder, then it comes out too. I know, because I went through it with Sunny and with Moochie. But when I really started noticing it, I told Chris, I said, something's wrong. I said, I know we don't have the money, and I know this is going to rip our hearts out, but Boo's dying. Because I was literally over at Mom's, and he called me up about 5:45 last night, I think it was. I was still over there because, a lot of times I'll leave around 6 or 7 to come home anyway. That way I'm spending an equal amount of time at home, because I've been spending more time down at Maria's. And Maria's birthday's today, of course, like I said. So, yeah, her birthday's just, it's, other than it being really weird, and the sadness about Boo. But it's also Tigi's birthday today, because Tigi is 2 years old today, because she shares her mom's birthday, Maria. We've been at Target today. We've been to the bank. We've been to the Kroger store. We've been to Mom's. We've been to, it's like we've been running nonstop since we left here today, sometime in the early afternoon, because today it was payday for Mom. It was payday for Maria, because the 3rd falls on a Sunday. So that means they get it the Friday before, which is today. But, and I hope this doesn't change the energy or anything. And please don't take anything I'm saying to wrong or anything, hon. It's just, it's a further hurt that I'm dealing with right now that is really tearing me up inside. But I read the text messages that Michael most recently sent Chris. I think it was like early November or something like that. And there were several text messages. And, according to Michael, I'm a backstabber. I'm two-faced. From what I read, he makes me feel like I've abandoned him, that I've forgotten him, that I don't give two shits about him, that, I'm like public enemy number one. And, he said, I know I can't rely on you guys, and no, I don't call because, we're not putting money on his phone because we simply can't afford to. We haven't been able to set up a video visit because GTL still hasn't fixed their fucked up issue that, Chris, he's the techie in the family, hun. He can get through most things, but whatever this is, he can't fix. And unless GTL gets off their fucking ass and fixes it on their end, where it is their job to fix it, we can't even do a video visit. But he's making it seem like we're doing it on purpose. He claims that I've been talking shit about him when he doesn't know I'm listening. And I'm going, what the hell is that supposed to mean? So I'm basically dead to him. I no longer deserve the title of mother. And I hope that he finds himself another mother, because that's just, from what I read, that's exactly how he made me feel. And when did I ever call my child a burden? I don't remember saying those words, but he claims that I consider him a burden. And I would never say that about my kids. If I said the word burden in any type of sentence to do with him, the burden is mostly on our hearts, our souls, because all these things that he seems to, and I'm not saying we don't have the power to do, he feels we have the power to do, doesn't mean that we can do it. Because then you're talking about going down to the courts and going through a bunch of bullshit and trying to get somebody to listen to you. Meanwhile, our cat is dying. I can't even begin to tell you what I just went through just to get the fucking rent money. Okay. And there's still people that I can't buy for. I wasn't even able to get Alicia anything for Christmas this year. That makes me feel about that high, because the money's just not there, is gone. And the people that I did try to buy for, I got mom something, I got Carl something, I got myself a few things, because I know how hard it is for everybody. So I paid it out of my own money though. And then I got stuff for Maria, and I feel absolutely terrible for everybody else I wanted to get for you and the boys. I've never been able to do that. And that makes me feel about that high, because the money's just not there. I mean, this is like the second month in a row now that I haven't paid anything on my credit cards, because Chris gave me a suggestion about, having the extra $150 that I would normally pay on my credit cards to have more Christmas money. So I went with that, because I wanted to try to buy for as many as I could. And the ones that I couldn't buy for, it's ripping my heart out. And tomorrow it's looking like it's going to be equally busy, because while she's at work, I'm going to be going out and pricing some things that she wanted me to check in some of the stores around here to see if they had anything like that. And I said, okay, I think she's wanting a pair. For instance, I don't know if I've shown them on here yet, but I got these really cool pair of pants. I'll try to bring them in here later so you can see them. But they're very witchy looking, and I really like them. They got flare bottom legs, and this is a new top too. You can't see it really well, but this is it's a Christmas top, and it's got a pair of pants that goes with it, and it's got the Christmassy on the sleeves. It's an outfit I got from Christmas that Maria paid for. I told him that to call Carl and you guys, but I know he didn't have a lot on his phone after that. I don't know what he did, unfortunately. Thanks. And here's my thought. I'm like, okay, he claims that I'm saying all this stuff about him. Where's he hearing it? And I'm like, okay, so either he's astrally projecting himself here, which is possible, because there was an episode one day when I had this, as a matter of fact, it was these. They weren't as full as they are now, but, oh, and that one isn't even staying sealed on there. I had this. It's got a bunch of my extra beads in it, so if I need them for a future painting and it has the same colors in it, then I just put the filler numbers on each bottle and put them in here. These are all the little short bottles. These are, I'll show you one of them. See? So these are like the little bottles. So then I put the filler number on top, and I put as many in each layer as I can. So I got 3 layers of these little bottles here. And I had this, so there was hardly any in here. The other 2 layers were empty. And I had them sitting up over here on this tote to my left. And one day I was just sitting here, a lot of the time I was just sitting here by myself. I know it wasn't the cats because they were nowhere near it. So I know they didn't do it. But that thing literally flew off of the freaking the tote and fell down. So I was like, what the hell? Because I looked around to see if maybe one of the cats had gotten up there or something and dislodged it accidentally, which would be no big deal, right? So I was like, okay, is somebody here? Are you trying to get my attention? Are you trying to say hi? I wasn't sure, because sometimes spirits will do that. And I'm like, okay, why that particular, container? And then I remembered what used to be in there. That used to be the little 3-tier thing that I used for my resin stuff. Well, I took everything out of there that was resin related, put it in my other containers that has my resin stuff in it, the ink colors, the little glitter things that you can put in if you want to give it like a glittery look to it and stuff. The powders and different like little accessories that you can make different jewelry pieces with and stuff like that. So I took and emptied that out. And then I was like, wow, you know what? That's perfect for these little jars, because you can get those little jars. I got them with this particular case, this pink case here that you can't see. And then of course the regular size jars are these guys, which are a lot taller. So anyway, so I was like, okay, that was weird. I said, well, hello, if there's somebody here, that's trying to get my attention, I hello, you're being acknowledged, That same day, I think it was a few minutes later, several hours later, I don't know, the damn thing flew off of there again. Maria was in here. Chris was in here. I was sitting exactly where I am now. Chris was standing over there. Maria was sitting in the chair that you usually sit in when you're here. And the damn thing did it again. So they all witnessed it. I'm like, you guys saw that, right? Is there a cat around there? No, I didn't do it. Nobody was near it. And it flew off again. So Chris looked that direction. He said, knock it off. So he got kind of lippy with the spirit or whatever energy was doing it. It's like, look, we don't need this shit. Knock it off. So that could very well possibly be Michael, because he can't astrally project. But anyway, if you could see these text messages, you would be like, I don't believe he said that. I don't believe he said that. I have been crying so much over it off and on, Brooke, that I wasn't even sure I could get on here and do this right now. But I know how much you love Boo, and any of my other followers on here that know me and know Boo and know how we are with our animals, and we're losing one, and it's like, so yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do this and not break down crying, because I just feel like this worthless POS that no longer deserves the title of Michael's mother, and maybe he's better off trying to find another mom. Now, I feel absolutely horrible saying that, even feeling that way, but these text messages were that mean, that hurtful, and I felt like he literally walked up to me, pointed a fucking gun to my forehead, point blank, and pulled the trigger. And then he did it to my chest too, to make sure I was dead, because I in a way, I wish Chris hadn't showed him to me, because now I have to deal with the fact that I feel like I've lost my son because I'm not good enough, because I didn't do enough for him, or I failed him as a mother. I failed him as a support system. And apparently, unless you put money on his phone, you're not going to get a phone call from him. It was like, it wasn't Michael. It was like Ace. It was like his dark half. And I could see Ace doing something like that, just being pissy, because Ace was always his protector. That would be the personality he would go into when he felt like he was being done wrong in some way, or he was being done some injustice. I mean, you know me. Would I ever consider my children a burden? I would not. Burden has more than one terminology, and I don't know why he would ever think that of me after all I have tried to do for him, and how bad I have always felt, because I felt like I failed all my kids as a mother. I felt like I didn't do a good enough job because I couldn't give them everything they needed. I tried, but all I know is in the end, they were all taken away from me anyway, to where I had none of them. And I blinked, and my daughter's grown up now, Alicia, and she just has little to no time for me because she's busy with her own life. And I get that. And I'm not expecting her. I'm not one of those moms, that expects my kid to just stop what they're doing and stop living their life just to give me their time, and stuff at all. Because she did come over on the 22nd, the day before Thanksgiving, because she was going to Tasha's family for Thanksgiving. So she said, if that's okay, guys, I can come over the day before, and then we can just do a regular dinner thing. So that way we didn't touch any of the Thanksgiving stuff. And because I don't remember if I said that in the live or not, because remember the live on Thanksgiving, I had to do 3 different ones because it kept freezing up and screwing up. And yeah, actually it was really, it's the best one we've had in a while. That other chick that none of us wanted to show up, weirdly enough. And I'm like, why, of all names, why did it have to be this one? Before I tell you the name, she is somebody from Jim's church. Yeah, exactly. And I don't blame you, hun, because I certainly don't want to stick you in the middle. I'm not trying to do that at all. I'm just saying this is some very hurtful stuff that I'm dealing with right now. And I'm trying to figure out what I did, or didn't do that was so horrible, that Michael would say those things. So I'm just trying to get through it. I'm trying to heal from it. And now we're losing Boo, and it feels like I'm not only have I lost one son already, feeling I've lost Michael, but I'm about to lose another. Yeah, it is, because as a mother, your mind is like, what did I do? I don't ever remember saying those words and putting them in that context that I would ever call one of my children a burden. I mean, the burden for me is not being able to do the things they ask of me, not being able to, help get things situated and straightened around, because it's not us, it's GTL. I mean, what does he expect us to do if we can't get through to anybody on the phone? Or if Chris tries to go on the website, that thing screws him over a million times to where he gets agitated and just don't want to be bothered with it anymore. Now, I don't blame him. If that was me, I'd be like, oh, hell no. I'm not going through this shit 20 times today. The fact we haven't been able to come up there, the fact that we haven't been able to do video visits, none of that is our fault. It's not us, it's GTL. And I wish he knew that. We can't fix whatever GTL's fuck up is. They're just being assholes, and I think refuse to fix it. So we can't have that time with our son. That I would desperately, that would help me out a lot. I would love to be able to have those. And I stopped writing him on JPay because I felt like, what would be the point of writing him if he's never going to bother taking the time to write me back, because he seems to be busy for everybody else, kind of how I feel with Alicia a lot of times, then have time for us to sit down and take time and say, hey, Mom, sorry. Even if it's just, hey, Mom, sorry, I've been too busy lately. I will try to email you soon. So I stopped communicating altogether with JPay because I couldn't keep stamps on there, because now we've got these additional expenses, and it became, okay, do I keep my stamps? Do I keep trying to write? And a lot of times, I would just, I don't know what to say, because I don't want to say something to trigger my kids in a negative way. And then I'm the bad guy. I'm public enemy number one. What the hell did I do? And I certainly don't want to drag anybody in the middle of it. And I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to deal with the hurt that my son has now dealt me. And I'm just in fucking shock, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? Or not do, or whatever. So it's hurting me, because I feel like I've lost my son. Like, like talking about, I can be so affectionate and everything, and then the minute he turns his back, I'm stabbing him in the back, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Where is this coming from? You know what I mean? It's like, so much, like, my hands are tied. I've got more demands from my mother, because now I have to take on the task of doing her Christmas shopping for her, which means more stress for me, because if I go over at the wrong time, which I got lucky this time, there was hardly anybody there, and I only bought 6, you might as well say, for 6 people. I bought 3 things, like I bought pajama sets for me and 2 others, Alicia and my Aunt Cinda. And then I bought shirts for the guys. They're all the same kind of shirts, but they have different colors, and they have hoods, so the guys will like that. And they're long sleeve, so they'll like that. And of course, for Chris, I tried to get him one that has green in it. And then for Jim, Mom said he likes blue. And then I think I got like a red one or something. I said, well, Carl can have the red one then. So in that sense, I only went after 6 items. Mom gave me a certain amount of money and she said, let's see how you do. I'm like, okay. And I told her, I said, Mom, I said, I have no problem doing this. And I said, but, because she did say something about like giving me $25 or something this year to just get what I wanted for myself for Christmas. So I was like, okay, so that means if I want to turn around and take that $20 and put it on my card so I can pay my rent, then that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I did today. So, and then I just, I stuck the 5 in my pocket because I went to CVS to load my card because that's one of the few places I can, my Capital One card. So then I put all my rent money into the savings so nobody else could take any money out. And then I put the 20 in the checking. Then I transferred the savings amount to the checking. So I had the money to get the rent. We immediately went to Kroger. So I had to stand in 3 different lines today. 3 different places. Killed my back to do so. But yeah, Thanksgiving was good, and I'm just sorry that the thing messed up as many times as it did, that I had to, do like 3 separate lives just to get it to work. But, yeah, it was good. Carl actually, he, texted me later that day and said he had so much fun. And I was like, oh, I said, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad you had fun because it's been a long time since we've been able to, truly have fun on a holiday as a family like that. So how did you and the boys do? Did you guys do, I know you don't usually celebrate it, but I guess the better term would be, how are you guys doing? Because I keep forgetting, over in England, there's a lot of holidays that you guys don't celebrate over there. So so as far as Alicia, what I might have to do, and I'm sure she'll understand, is just like, sweetie, I may have to, so I may have to wait until after Christmas to get yours. Yeah. Okay, good. So I still miss your shop. I really do. That and I wouldn't care, like how long I was on there. You know me. I mean, I almost never got off of there. And when you were on live and I knew you were on live, I was on there immediately and I'd stay on there the whole time. I mean, it may get down to a point where I was just putting the little icons on there just to let you know I was still there because I couldn't, type a lot because I didn't want to be too much of a distraction either because back then you were having a lot more business and stuff. So, I didn't want to interfere with that, so I was just kind of in the background trying, letting you know I was there and I wasn't going anywhere until you were done doing your live for the day. Or if something came up, and I had to go, then I would go. But it was like the highlight of my day, believe it or not, because it was in my opinion, it was a fun, creative way that I was spending the day with my daughter, at least one of them, because I know that, Alicia she's a busy lady and I'm glad she's living her life. And I certainly hope that it's happy for her and everything. And, but it's hard for me as a mom because me and my mom have always been so close. And I'm not saying me and Alicia aren't, but, I wish I could see her more than is plausible without feeling like I'm coming on and being overbearing and smothering her and, pulling a Sheila and saying, you come and see me right now or else, that's not me. I'm not going to threaten my kids if they can't, spend time with me. It's okay. I understand. We'll just catch up when we can. That's all we can do. But, she said she's going to be there for Christmas. And around here somewhere, I can show you a couple of the gifts that have come in. So I'm sorry, hun, once again, that I wasn't. I'd love to be able to get you and the boys something. And it just kills me that I can't. I just don't have the money, and trying to ship it that far is really hard. Where are they at? Yeah, I think I put Pennywise here. I got this. This is one of the ones I got for myself. It's one of the little fleece blankets we've got. I haven't taken the ribbon off yet because, like, sometimes when I come out in the morning, I like to have something like this to, like, drape over my legs because it's warm and it's Christmassy. And, when I take the red ribbon off, I keep the ribbon and I end up using it for something else. I'll show you this one first because it's only one item. This is one of the things I got for Carl, which I know he's going to love because he had this same exact mug that we got him from the Halloween store before it left this year. And the cup was so cracked so many places that it was not usable. And he really wanted to be able to drink out of it. You'll see why. This is one of his favorite horror flicks, Pennywise. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but the movie's called It. And this is like an evil clown that, he kidnaps children and, kills them and stuff and steals their life force. And, a lot of people don't like that. You've seen it? Okay, so Pennywise. So this mug he found, and he only had one of them at the Halloween store, and he paid like over $8 for it. And they shouldn't have charged him anything for it because it literally was not usable because he wanted to be able to drink out of it. So I got on Amazon, found the same exact mug, and I didn't care that I paid $20 for it because now he's got one that he can display. Oh, cool. So, yeah, so he, I know that he likes Pennywise, and I know he was disappointed, and I would have been too, even though I ended up giving him money right out of my wallet that I didn't have to give. So I basically gave him 5 of the 8 he just spent on that one that he couldn't use. So I found him the mug, this one he can drink out of. He don't even know he's getting this yet. And I got him a toboggan. It's a hat, I don't know what the British call it, but for us, it's a toboggan because, you wear it on your head during the winter and it keeps you warm. Mine has a pentacle on it. It says, "Don't hex my vibe." And then I have 2 pens that I also bought from the Halloween shop that are nice and witchy and all that. Hey, Bella. These are two of the that I got from Mom, but I've got her more than 2 items. It's just these are the first 2 that came in. This is a puzzle piece, and it says Mom, and it says, "Thank you for being such an important piece, PIECE, of my life. Love you forever." And then, I know you're having trouble seeing it because it's clear, so you can see through it, but it's really cute. I'm gonna keep it in its wrapper to keep it, from getting damaged. And they even gave you a little cloth to like polish, keep the fingerprints off of it and stuff. So that's one of the ones I got her. I know she'll love it. She don't know she's getting it yet. And you are gonna love this mug. Because I'll tell you, it was very tempting to get one for myself, but I've got too many cups, and this one, something like this, I would have to keep in a special place because I'd be terrified about it getting broke. And it'll be interesting to see if Mom ever drinks out of it or not. Check that puppy out. Tell me that isn't something gorgeous. These are metal. It's a butterfly. It's a rose on the stem. It's a real pretty, like, special fancy glass cup you can drink hot or cold out of. And this is the little spoon that comes with it. So it's a metal spoon, metal glass. Yeah, you're going to want to do gently because if you stir too quick, you could crack it. But isn't that pretty? I know she'll love this. And they had different colors. They had different, some of them like were actually a little bit taller, so deeper. And they had like purple flowers. So they had a bunch of different ones. But I know she loves her roses. And this has got like fake diamonds on it. See? So I know she'll really love that. And I'm getting her a dress. I'm getting her a real pretty Christmassy dress. It's long sleeved. And it'll come down past her knees, which, should be okay. Mom's definitely at 92. She's not the type that's going to be wanting to wear, something too short. She likes her long flowing gowns like me. And I try not to wear anything very far above the knee anyway. But Maria, she got me a lot of nice stuff on Temu, 3 separate orders. And how I paid her back for the third one, which because I felt bad about how that happened. But I did the right thing, and I told her about it, and I said, I will pay you that money back when I get my check. So when I got my check and I had the money, I went downstairs and I said, okay, I said, now I have the cash right now, and I will give it to you if you still want to do it that way. Or if you allow me to keep the cash, that would be equally welcome, and I will spend that money on you anyway on Temu. And she said, just spend it on me on Temu. I said, okay. I said, do you want to look through the Temu site and see if there's stuff that you want, or do you want to trust in me that I'll get some stuff that you like? She said, surprise me. I said, okay, because she knows I'm going to pick something she likes. So she's got stuff coming that she don't know about. And one of the things that I got for the whole family, so whoever, because, Maria's going to be with us for Christmas. It's going to be me, Carl, Alicia, Mom, Jim, Chris, Maria, you guys, of course, because you know me, I'll live stream it because it's a holiday, and at least it'll be kind of a way we can spend Christmas together. I got and Chris don't know about it yet, so I can't talk about it on here, but I got a surprise coming that, like I said, the whole family will be able to enjoy it. So that was kind of what I liked about the item, because it was versatile. It'll be able more than one. I'm not getting it just for me. I'm getting it for everybody. So you'll be able to see that on the live stream, because believe me, I'll make sure I get it on there if I have to carry the computer around so you can see it real good. Mom has changed her living room around the way she kept talking about wanting to change it anyway. And just to show you, this is one of the few that I finally it was one of the ones I started but never finished. This is one of the diamond paintings I've done. I like this one because of the rainbow colors in it. The reason why that bottom section is all glitter is because I have the wrong color beads in that bottom section. These top color beads are the right colors for this piece, because that was back when I got this weird, stupid idea that I was going to be able to do 10 paintings in a short period of time. Bad idea. So, because I was going to try to sell a bunch in the yard sale, and I never got any of them done. So all those top colors, the correct colors for that particular one, I found in a box of diamond painting beads that had a count of 447 different colors in it. And I love this box because I have been able to do paintings that I started, but I was like, oh crap, and forgot where the beads were because I didn't label them like I should have. And I had too many paintings going on at once, and it got too confusing, So, but so I've only got a handful of them that are actually completed. And right now, one of the ones that I've been trying to work on getting done, because I've only got like 21 rows left, is this one, which I call it my all-seeing fairy eye, because I love the colors, and not only the iris in the center of the eye, but the colors around it. But the eye only faces one direction. I wish I could find that painting or have one made, but the eye of the opposite direction, do that one, same exact colors, and then be able to set it up as a pair of eyes, because they say that people, they get unnerved by something like that. So say you're having some new friends over. You're not sure, they're new people that you've just recently met. You're not sure if you can trust them or not. You're not sure if they're going to be kind of shady or, something like that. So you want to kind of test them a little bit. Oh, what the hell did I do? Now, why did Ravenwood Castle just pop up? Oh my God. Sorry about that. I accidentally popped up the Ravenwood site. Oh boy. Told you it's been a weird day. I'm telling you what. It definitely has been a weird day. So, I'm losing it. Oh, I've decided, I think, because I've been trying to figure out what to sew these on to, because I don't have an ironing board, and I don't know if these are the type you can sew on or if you're supposed to iron them on, but me, just to make sure and have better security that they're going to stay on, I'm sewing them on. This is a patch that I got from the Halloween store. And then I got this one, which I thought they were really cool. So I'm going to put one of them on one side of my witch dress and then the other one on the other side of my witch dress. I'm going to sew them in the front. Or no, I'm going to sew them on the sides. Remember, I've been talking about re-sewing the sleeves shut because I hate how far up I had to cut them just to be able to fit the dress because that was a 3X. The rest of it fit me fine. It was just the sleeves is what threw me because of that material. They had it in the wrong place, and because of the heftiness of my arms still, I couldn't get it past, where I needed to so that I could wear it. So I'm going to put one patch on one arm, the other patch on the other arm. That'll make it unique. And it'll be a cool way to kind of personalize it a little bit, make it my own special dress. And if I like the look, I might put as much as 2 more, but have 2 other different like witchy ones, because I'm sure I can find witchy clothing patches, hand sew clothing patches. Type it into Amazon. I'm sure I'll find some. But anyway, I've got a dress coming for Mom. I've got a dress coming for myself. I've got 3 cute Christmassy outfits. This is one of them. I've got one that's got a snowman on it, and the pants do as well. I've got another one that's like a red, white, and gold combination. It's got a tree on it, and then the pants do. The pants are actually black and white with snowflakes on them. But like I was telling you about the toboggan, I got a white one that has only Pennywise, the clown. It only has his eyes on the toboggan in a certain spot. And the Don't Hex My Vibe, that toboggan got from the Halloween store. Got a bunch of really cool witchy jewelry, but I had this really cool crown, and I hope that I wore it on at least a few live streams back, because I ended up knocking it off and breaking it. Now the only way I can fix it is if I get some, because I tried like the Loctite weld. It didn't hold it in place. I don't have an actual welding gun. If I had hot glue, that might be something to try. But what I would really like to get is, I think they call it like 3-minute fix or something like that. It's this gel. It comes in a pen, and you squeeze the gel on. It's a versatile fixer, quick fixer thing. You squeeze the gel on the thing that needs fixed, and then you flip it around, and then you press this little button, and this laser light shines. You shine it on the gel for like 3 seconds. 5 seconds, but don't put it too close, and too far away. And it seals it permanently. It seals the object, so it's better at gluing stuff. And if I can get some of those again, which I had some on Amazon before, I think they call like 3-minute fix or something like that. I'm going to see if I can get some more, try them again. But the crown is really cool because it has like small horns sticking up, which to me looks like something you would see on a forest animal. Because they're not horns like horns that a demon would have, not what I would typically imagine a demon, but they stick up just the slightest little bit, and then they have these little tines coming off down here that's smaller. They got a chain, and then a pentacle. It's really cool. And it's got the combs, so you have to like fit it down on your head. Brooks on. Sorry if I was bothering you. He was laying down. Sorry. He was trying to lay down because, like I said, we've all been, really bummed about Boo and stuff. But so the crown got broke. The middle piece got broke, and it's still on there. But everything I've tried so far to use it's not keeping it on there right. It's not keeping it sealed on there. So either I'm going to have to literally try to do hot glue gun, or get some of the 3-second fix, and hopefully that'll fit it. But in that case, I'm going to have to set that in a very special place where nothing's ever going to bump into it, because otherwise I'm afraid that something might break it again. So I don't know. And if I can't fix it, then I'm going to have to wait till next year and just hope that they have those again. I got something called a pomander necklace that I think I had on some past few past live streams. It's a silver ball. You open it up, it has a black rose in it. You put your favorite scent on it, whether it's a perfume oil or a spray perfume even, or something. It'll hold the scent a lot longer. And I got a fake vial of fake vampire blood. got a huge spider ring that has like the elastic so you can like put it on different size fingers. But the spider is so big, no matter what finger I wear it on, it don't look right. And it's uncomfortable on my finger. And then I got a bracelet that's a slave bracelet. I can't get the ring to fit comfortably on any of my fingers. And it's one of the adjustable ones. And it has a spider, and then it has chains hanging down. So you have to wear it on a certain finger for the chains to look right. And it looks like it needs to go on the middle finger, but I still have a lot of weight in my hands and stuff yet. So I got some cool stuff, this year from the Halloween store. I got a flask that says like Witch's Potion or Witch's Brew or something. I haven't used it yet. But just, different things like that. So I got him the Pennywise mug to wrap that part up because he wanted one that he could drink out of. So now he's got one he can display, like use it for a pencil holder or something, or he can use it to put a bunch of his wands in it if he wants the bead wands. Because I took him 5 diamond paintings up there one day and shocked the crap out of him. And I took him up a bead case because he didn't have one. But I mistakenly got him a little kid one because I thought that the case was bigger, like more regular size, like one of these, but it wasn't. But it was so cute. It was, I think I showed it on live. I was like, I think I showed you was on. But yeah, he loved it. Carl loved it because he likes green. So his mug and his toboggan will match because they're Pennywise. And I got him a pair of socks that have cannabis leaves on them. And I got him a blanket that has a cannabis leaf on it. And it has the gnome that has the J in his hands, and it says, "Let it be." And he's holding a rainbow cannabis flower or leaf. And I have a painting that I haven't done yet that I'm going to do this one for myself, but I'm going to try to find it again and surprise him with it. Like just take it up there one of these times and go, "Here you go." He'll be like, "What?" Because this one's kind of tricky to find. It's a gnome, and he's holding a cannabis leaf, and he's got like I said, he's got a J in his hand. It says it's got little leaves in the background. It's primarily black, the background, and it says "Let it be." And I thought that was cool, and I knew Carl would like it. And so yeah, he's got a bunch of diamond paintings now. He's got the diamond bead case I got him. He loved it. I said, "This is your early Christmas in case I can't get you anything else," because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get anything else. So my shopper friend this year was Temu. But even with the good prices that Temu gives you for stuff, I overdid it apparently because, of what I had to run around like a chicken with my head cut off and do just to put $20 extra on so I could make rent. So it's like, oh crap. So got to be more careful, next time. But with everything going on the way it has been here lately, and all the disappointments and how many years we've gone when we haven't really been able to have a really good Christmas, I wanted this to at least be one that was, halfway decent. So I tried to divide the items up between things that I just wanted to get for the people that I know they would like, but also things that had a versatility to them that they could use, that had functional, because I got a blanket coming for Carl and the socks. So those will match, and then the toboggan and the cup will match. So that coupled with what I already gave him, he's good. Because he's really going to be surprised when I'll be like, "Here you go. I got you 4 more gifts." He'd be like, "What?" But, he came up with a good idea, though. And hopefully we'll be able to put it into action. I just don't know how soon, because I don't know that I would want to be doing something like that in the middle of winter. Unless we could do it inside and then, find a way to weather protect it, maybe. We would have to spray it with something that would shield it, like a clear coat, so that it could handle being out in the elements. Or, because, those pallets are going to be big. But I don't know if you know what I'm talking about when I say pallets. But they're these wooden square things that people use a lot of times to carry loads on when they load them into trucks and stuff like that. Well, a lot of stores get a bunch of them that they want to get rid of. So they end up in the back of the store, out there in the trash, public domain, all that. So Carl came up with this fun, creative, money-making idea of getting some pallets, taking some off the hands of some of the stores. And because you don't want to get too many at once, because one, you want to test the waters, as it were. You want to play around with just a few of them and see if they even sell. But it gives you a creative canvas. You can use them for planter boxes. You can grow herbs. You can grow flowers, or a little of both. Or you can paint them and like paint designs on them and pictures on them. And as long as you like coat them with like maybe a clear, like I said, lacquer or some kind of thing that's going to protect them. Like, obviously I don't want them sitting out in 4 foot of snow because it is still wood, but because they're so big, it would be a little more tricky to find a way to display them. However, the diamond paintings, because they're different sizes and shapes a lot of times, like most of the ones I've done so far, they've been square. They would be either long or they would be this way, either vertical or square or whatever. So anyway, rectangular, which is this way, or square. And so you're going to need a different size frame for them. And Carl, part of how he's going to make money is taking some of these pallets apart, cutting the wood down, taking a burn tool, maybe burning some of the wood a certain way, not enough to destroy it, but to give it a certain look and design. Boo just threw up again, but I don't know where at in here, and I don't know how much, because he just walked in there. Special frames for the diamond paintings, and he has agreed to display them in his front bedroom window because he's not using it right now for anything. And because it's a bay window, you have like a little bit of a shelf sort of space that you can set stuff on. And I can like put a sign in the window and say, cash only. And at least for now, just, the majority of them try to just sell for like $20. It was over in here somewhere, it sounded like, but I don't know exactly where. Boo's been thrown up a lot. It's usually just white stuff and it's very little. Yeah, so you know what we're talking about. So good. And, there is it is a nice creative outlet. It would be something fun for me and Carl to do as brother and sister. And, we would definitely have to deal in cash only though, because originally I was going to give people my email address that's tied to my PayPal account. The only problem with that is, and Chris pointed this out to me today, so I'm going to have to do cash only. Just sell them for $20 a piece right now. Just to, and like if they're really small, then maybe sell them for like $5 or something like that. Because you don't want to make too much. You don't want to put it out there in a way on the internet, especially where Social Security can get a hold of that information, because then they're going to yank your check, especially if this thing takes off like we're not expecting it to. And people go stupid over it, because when you're talking about frames that you can literally tell people, yes, I literally watched my brother make this frame. This is how he, but don't give away all your secrets. Don't be telling like, this is how you do it. But yes, I literally watched him make these myself. Then you can charge a wee bit more, because I have no idea how much he's going to even charge for one of his frames. Or they would have the option, if they just wanted the painting itself. Well, Carl has to understand that some of them may do that. And if they just want their own frame, well, then Carl's not going to make any money. So, I'm going to have to find a middle ground there. But Maria has the most paintings done right now. She's got 13 plus. Literally completed. I've got a handful, really. Not many at all. So that means, like I said, I'll have to put in the sign in the window, $20 a piece. Give them a way to contact me, have them knock on my brother's door, let him, try to be there that day, or if I can, or, trust him with it, that he's not going to take more than his share, because I don't want to let him have control of the money and then he's taking more of it and I'm getting hardly nothing. Which I hate to say that, even think that about my brother, but I just don't want any conflicts to arise, if I can help it. because I don't want to get a venture like this started and then everything goes to heck and it ends up causing us to fight or something, you know. So and Maria surprised me again today, bless her. She got me some more pagan mix, and I was like, sis, you don't have to do that. You just got me some recently. Are you sure you want? And she's like, it's okay. I want to do it. I'm like, okay. Because, I mean, it's her birthday, and she's giving me gifts. I'm like, okay. But at least she knows that she's got some stuff coming, and I know it's stuff that she'll really like. Got her a pair of glow-in-the-dark leggings. She loves them. They have skulls on them and a mic and stuff. They're really cool looking. And I told her how to charge them. I said, you know, on a day that you want to wear them, I said, you know, let them charge under the electric light as long as you can. Make sure you let them charge on both sides for an equal amount of time. And then you put them on. And then, of course, you're not going to be able to see the glow effect unless you're in darkness. But, you know, I showed her after they had laid in the bedroom for a while. And I was like, they should be charged enough. Went in there, flipped the light off. And I was like, Maria, come and look. And she's like, oh, that is so cool. She loves them. And they fit her fine because I was able to get her a size small because, you know, she's so tiny. And now I got her because she's got this big, like fluffy, it's looks like it's really like soft and fuzzy and stuff. It's got the Grinch on it. And because she loves the Grinch, she ended up buying a 6-pack of the dime paintings. It's strictly the Grinch. She gave me one of them, bless her. You know, so I've got, you know, a couple of Christmas ones, or at least one that I can do, but I've got one on the way. That's part of the Christmas I got for myself. It's one of the little welcome signs you can do, except it's Christmas instead of Halloween because I wasn't able to get my Halloween one done quick enough. And I ended up stopping a Halloween one that I was doing. So, but when Carl was talking to me to get back to the palettes, you know, when he was talking to me about some of the things you can do with them, I was like, oh, yeah, I can see that. You're right. That is a fun way to be creative. And you can make a little bit of pocket money, you know, but just be careful. Don't make too much because then SSI will yank your check. So, you know, I thought $20 to me, that's fair. And like I said, some of the smaller ones, because remember, some of them are like maybe that wide, maybe that tall. You know, those $5. You know, I mean, I don't think that's too terrible much. And I've only really got one of those that size right now that I could sell, and it's a little turtle. So somebody might come along. Oh, that is so cute. Can I have it, Mom? And they know somebody that loves turtles, and they got a little kid. Oh, let's get that for Joey, or oh, let's get that for Bobby, or you know, and then take it home. And you know, I signed the back of my painting. You know, I just signed like Lady Janelle, and then I date it. And usually I try to date it like the day that I actually finish it or whatever. But I don't do that with a painting unless, one, I know that I'm going to sell it. And then, you know, whatever date I put on it, it don't really matter if I've done it months before that or not. Just finished one that was, it's designed in such a way that it's meant to look like a piece of stained glass. I don't have any of those here, do I? No. But this is one that I'm going to be working on here. I don't know how soon or anything. But this one's only got 10 colors. It's still diamond painting, but it's a butterfly. And it's not one of those you have to do the entire piece and be only sections of it. So you can whip through one of these and like nothing flat. And I mean, 10 colors. Yeah, you can go through that pretty quick. Here's one I'm going to be doing at some point. I don't know how far into the future because I've got still too many going on. It's a dream catcher, and it's got butterflies and roses on it. And see, these aren't that big. These are 30 by 30s, so it shouldn't be that hard. You know, once you cut the excess off, to frame these down, because when you cut the excess off, then that shrinks them down a wee bit. So you're gonna not have to make as big of a frame to get it to fit it. Here's one of the long ones, but it's also small. This one is a 20 by 30. And this was one that I got with, I think it was a pack of like 6 of them or something that I got. These are like 6 different ones. But these are blue roses. See how that one's long? It's more like this way instead of this way. So, don't know when I'm going to get around to that one. I still have the beads in their little thing. And, you know, so yeah, I mean, things have been kind of, you know, not so happy around here. But that's why, you know, because I haven't been able to get on until, you know, since Thanksgiving. You know, I wanted to get on here and do something before it got like too late, because I know, you know, you end up going to bed around 1 or 2, you know, a lot of times your time. And I'm just trying to get through my day and disappear into my paintings, dealing with this latest sadness that I already talked about, so don't need to bring up anymore. One of the weird things of today, when we went into the Target, this bracelet was not in the cup holder in the front seat. When we came out of the Target, because I always lock the car, so I know there was no way anybody got in the car. We come out and this was in the cup holder. Did you find this somewhere?
It was CVS.
You found this at CVS?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Chris. And I just didn't notice it or something. But anyway, so I was like, where did that come from? It was too big on Maria. So she's like, here, this is meant for you. So I went ahead and put it on. It's just a plain, you know, black bracelet. I was like, Chris might have found it somewhere. I do remember saying that when me and Maria, we had to go out, make an additional trip because she was looking for a gift box. She thinks that I don't know the gift that she's going to give me, but I do. And I'm not going to tell her that I know what it is, but she got me a diamond painting of Tiki, her cat, because they have this personalized thing you can do where you can take a favorite photo, you can send it in to these people, and it's only like $10 and something, you know, and in a couple days you get your painting. She got 2 of Kenny, her husband, and then 2 of Tiki. And one of them, I don't know if she's doing for herself. Most likely she probably is. But the other one she's going to give to me. And that's Christmas. She doesn't know that I know she's going to give one to me because I have a special bond with Tiki. I don't know why, but, you know, she may be a cat, but she's still my niece. So I'll take it, you know. Since I can't really be around any of my other nieces and nephews because that whole drama thing. Short version. Chelsea fucked up. Justin told her to get out. And she's, as far as I know, she's living back up here in Columbus somewhere. Yay! Like, you know, I could care less. And I hate to say that because it's my niece. Because the few times that I was able to go up there and have some time with her and the kids and Justin and everything, it was fun. I really did enjoy it. But I knew it was going to happen. I knew that her and Justin were not going to last. Because sadly, Chelsea is one of those that she can't handle her liquor. She gets a little too loose, if you know what I mean. And she finds herself in a situation where it looks like a certain thing is happening that supposedly really isn't happening. And then one of Justin's daughters just happens to take a picture of it with her phone and shows it to her dad. Yeah. So that blew up in her face. And now we expect here sometime soon, if she is back up here in Columbus, she is going to be going to court. Yeah. And Justin's filing for divorce. So she blew that one right out of the water. She had it really good with him. And this truly breaks my heart, Brooke, because I did try to have a relationship with Chelsea. I tried to get through to her in a positive way, but she just, because her mom is the way she is, Chelsea didn't exactly have the best role model. I wasn't in her life enough because, let's face it, I was busy with my own. But there was a time before I think Tina and Carl actually ended up getting married that me and Tina did have a closeness. But that died when her and Carl got married and I found out what she was really all about. So Chelsea didn't have a positive role model to grow up with. I wish I could have been, at least in the sense of, being her aunt, and everything, being a friend, being somebody she could talk to. 'Cause she loved having an aunt she could talk to about witchy stuff. And my first time down there, I felt like royalty. I was like, what did I do? I mean, it freaked me out. It wasn't bad. It just shocked me because Chelsea said, there's some people that's been wanting to meet you down here. I'm like, am I in trouble? I'm like, I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing. And Chelsea started laughing. She said, no, it's nothing bad. I'm like, okay. So, it was, I'll never forget that first time. That was probably the best of all of them. And I only went a couple of times. But it's sad that it happened. Yes. And, Chelsea, she did it to herself. So we're thinking that most likely he did not let her take the baby with her, because Paisley is Justin and Chelsea's. And last I knew, she was moving back in with her mom and her sister. And that's all I know. I don't know where they're at. I don't know if they're on the hilltop, west side, bottoms. I don't know. But what to make matters worse, Tina got bed bugs and roaches real bad right now too. So Carl, he was gonna offer Chelsea and her kids a place there with him because he's got 2 extra bedrooms, and she's got 2 kids. She's got Julie, that is hers through this Mike guy that she was with before Justin, and then Logan. I think they both belong to Mike, if I'm not mistaken. And then she has this kid, Colin, that scares me because that boy is seriously mentally disturbed, and he needs constant supervision, and he comes after people with knives, and just he's not safe to be around. And that's sad. But apparently it runs in his dad's family. I don't know if his dad was that way or if the kid was just unlucky and he got afflicted with it. And that's sad because, I mean, even I'm afraid of him because I don't want to be placed in a position to where I have to defend myself against a little kid because they come at me with a knife, or something. So yeah, it went and blew up, and Carl told me about it. And I was like, oh Lord. I was like, no. But then I wasn't shocked either, and neither was Carl. Because, Chelsea said that Justin was everything she didn't want in a guy. And I'm like, whoa, Chelsea, that is low. It's like, well then, sweetie, if that's the way you really feel, why are you with him? Money. She wasn't with him because she loved him. Not truly. She likes the bad boys. She likes the jerks like Mike that treat her badly. The dad of her daughter, Julie, and I think Logan. I don't know, like I said, much about she's never really talked about the dad that Colin is his dad. But I would be worried that if Carl did take that on and Colin was with them, that it could be dangerous for all of them. Because I don't know if I said this, I can't remember, but Carl has Bell's palsy right now, and it's kind of like it's similar to a stroke, but it's not quite a stroke. But it's scary enough, it like messes up one side of your face, and you can't. It's harder for him to eat and drink now because he can't close one side of his mouth really good. And it messes with his one eye because sometimes when he wants that eye closed, he can't get it to stay that way or something. So if you want to know what it's about, just look it up, Bell's palsy. And it should show you, because that's how I read up on it a little bit to at least like better understand it. And one of the possible ways that you can get it is some type of a viral infection. And I'm thinking, oh my God, because this came out of absolutely nowhere. When he took himself into the emergency room, he literally thought he had a stroke, and it scared the hell out of him. And I can only imagine, and I was like, oh my God, I can't, if that would have been me, I would have been thinking the same thing. Oh my God, I'm having a stroke. I'm about to die. So he managed to drive himself to the hospital, which was, not easy. And he said, I think I'm having a stroke, because he didn't know what it was. Well, it turns out there's a good possibility that he may have gotten it from getting his Pfizer shots, which, as you know, is meant to fight COVID, because they said viral related stuff can give it to you, and when you get a Pfizer or get the COVID shots, it's supposed to keep you from getting it. It's like getting a dead flu shot. Yeah. So that just adds to his health conditions, and now that he's got that, he can't talk right. I mean, he can still talk, but you can tell that it kind of slurs his speech. So you have to really listen and pay attention to what he's saying, because sometimes it's hard to really understand now. You know, I don't know if he was able to pick up on much of it when we did the lives on Thanksgiving, but because I had to keep changing them, you may not have really been able to pick up on it a lot. But he's taking medicine for it. And from what I had read about it, they said that there is a possibility that it will go away on its own after a short time. And he said he hopes that it does, because if it doesn't, he's going to take a bullet to his head. And how do you think that's going to make me feel? And how much time do you think is going to pass before I'm going to get that phone call telling me my brother's dead because he's killed himself? And then I'm going to have to deal with that hurt. And I'm going to have to deal with that pain. And I know most of the time in the past so far, yes, he's all talk, no action. He says he's going to kill himself, then he never does. Well, thank God. But every time he says it, and every time he feels that way, it scares me, because he's the only sibling I have left. And if he goes, it's going to really screw me up. And because that to me would be like losing one of my own children, or losing my mom, or, because out of us three siblings, me and Carl are the only ones that have had any kind of a at least halfway decent relationship. And I will always say this, I still don't like a lot of the stuff he does, but at least I'm taking it upon myself to, even if it means writing it down first, write down how I'm feeling, and then think, okay, now how would I interpret this to him without him taking it the wrong way? That, Carl, when you say this, or when you talk about this, it makes me feel like this. Could you please not do that anymore? Because you hurt me every time you do. Because I feel like you're punishing me because you're not happy with your life, or something that's missing from your life. And you feel like I have so much more, and you want what I have, but you can't seem to get it, or whatever. I don't know. But don't punish me because you're unhappy. I'm the one trying to have your back here out of our entire family, and yeah, I mean, a lot of the family, they don't think that I'm in the right, probably defending him like I sometimes do. But then I'm also the same person that'll say, yeah, I mean, I might not call him on his bullshit like a lot of people will bluntly do, but I'm not that person. I'm not going to just say, look, will you quit being an asshole? Will you quit being a prick? Will you quit being a bastard? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to slap him in the face, punch him in the gut, even though he may deserve it. That's not the way that's not how I do things. I'm going to try to come across in a way that he understands how much he's hurting me by being that way, or acting that way, or, talking that way, when I'm the one trying to be his friend here. Irregardless of the things that he does that's hurting me, I still try to have his back. I still try to be on his side, and I try to see things from all angles. I try to see things from all points of view. But I can't always. And I don't call him probably maybe as much as he would like me to check up on him, make sure he's still doing okay. But I don't know how sympathetic he would be if I called him right now and said, sorry, I haven't called or texted, but Boo's dying. We're losing one of our cats, and it's tearing us up. And every time one of us mentions it, it hurts even more, because there's nothing we can do to stop it. We're going to try. Tomorrow when Maria gets home from work, she wants to go back out, and because I told her about the canned food idea with Boo, because at least earlier when he was drinking the water that Chris had put in a bowl, and he broke up the treats, and he was hoping that the water would moisten the treats, because it was like Boo couldn't even. He's so weak that he couldn't even He couldn't even keep the treat in his mouth long enough to chew it up. And so Chris broke them up into smaller pieces, and then he was able to eat a little bit that way, but not anywhere near enough, you know. So I thought, okay, maybe canned food will be easier for him. If it can be the one thing that my gut's telling me to try, and I do, and it works, and it saves his life, great. If it doesn't, well, okay, that was the last card I had to play. It didn't work. He still dies, but at least we tried everything we could. Aside from, taking him into a vet and having them fix him when they might not be able to. Or tell us that, oh yeah, it's amazing that he's lasted this long. Because I found out that American curls have a lifespan between 12 and 16 years. And Chris said we've had him at least 4 or 5. And according to Maria, Jen and Faith had him since he was a kitten before we even got him. So we have no way of knowing how old he is. And he may be literally at the end of his lifespan. He may be 16 for all we know. And if that is the case, and I even talked to Raphael, the angel of healing, about this last night when I was trying to fall asleep and having a very hard time doing so. And why? I said, if it's his time to go, then please help him to go, or send the angel of death to him. Let him die peacefully in his sleep. I don't want him to cry out in pain. I don't want him to suffer. Just let him pass peacefully in his sleep. Please let him pass peacefully in his sleep. But at the same time, I was terrified to fall asleep because I didn't want to have a nightmare about him. And I was terrified that when I woke up the next morning that he was going to be gone. And I was going to be the one to find him. And that was what happened with Sonny. And Chris wasn't able to be here for that because that was when he was in prison for 2 years. Sonny died while he was in prison. And it ripped my heart out. And Sonny almost never got in my lap for anything. But the night he died, he did. And I just knew that when I woke the next day, he was probably going to be gone. So I held him, I cried, I told him how much I loved him and how much he would be missed and how much Daddy would be miss him. And Maria was here when it happened with Lucci, and now we're going through it again with possibly the food. If the canned food idea don't work, because I know what Maria's going to do, and I'm thankful. She might try to get him, a few cans of canned food, because depending on where you get it, and what kind you get, you can get like several cans for like real inexpensive, because I want to give him I know they said part of a good diet for them is high protein, good quality. And here he is. Hey, baby, you want to come and see Mama? You want to come and see Mama? Come on, you want to come on? Mommy can move stuff. It's okay. Come on. Here. Oh, whoops. Yeah, no, Mommy's not stuffing the floor, ain't I? It's okay. It's just a plastic thing Mommy's got. I knocked my, come on. My little, it was a Halloween thing that Maria got me this past Halloween. It's a little skeleton cat. Come on, baby. Here he is. Hey, baby. I'm glad to see you out a little bit. And I'm going to try to get you some canned food tomorrow, baby, and I hope it helps. Hope it's something that you'll be able to eat. Show you my little skeleton cat. I thought you could move his front legs, but I guess not. but you can move his back legs. Because I was showing Maria, I said, see, you can move his back legs, and you can swivel his head back and forth. You can open and close his mouth. It's just a little, black skeleton cat. And this was me and Maria both got one. You can move his tail a little bit. But see, like I said, I've been crying off and on already. So trying to be hopeful that this canned food idea will help and hopefully save him. And if it does, and because I already know we're going to have to, the only way we can do it is we're going to have to take him into the bathroom, stay in there with him, put the can of the food down in a bowl or whatever for him, and see if he can eat or drink any of it. And hopefully it'll happen decent. Come on, baby. If you want to come back up, you can. It's okay. Go. It's okay. Come on. Come on up. It's okay, baby. But if he was here right now petting him, you would be able to. I can feel his spine. I can feel his shoulder blades. And like I said, his stomach is just too small. It shouldn't. Love you, baby. You can sit up here with mommy. Yeah, you can lay down over there. Daddy won't mind. He's in there on the computer. But there's nothing against hoping that the canned food will work and he'll be able to eat it. But I don't know what else to do, because I don't want to further traumatize him by trying to take him literally out of the apartment and take him down to Maria's or something and take him in the bedroom with me where the door's going to be shut. I don't want to freak him out like that. I don't want him to think he's being shut in a room again. Because that was his life for so long. And we found out later when Jen and Faith were almost on their way to moving out because they were too disruptive. Mostly Jen. It was more Jen than Faith. But Faith kept Boo in the bedroom. And, our bedroom and how small it is and everything. Well, Faith would stay in there with Boo. And she kept Boo shut in the room because Jen would kick at him a lot, yell at him a lot, probably other ways be abusive to him and mean. And so she may have done some damage to him that we don't know. But several months back, like last summer, when we took them all in, all four of them in, and got them dewormed that time, they told us that Boo was in perfect health. So why suddenly the change? I read that stress can cause it, and that was the number one thing that hit me anyway, that because of the stress that he goes through with Carmela and Kalika picking on him as much as they do, that it's traumatizing him and making him not want to eat, or worst case scenario, he's eaten some of the poison roaches running around, and no fault of Chris because he uses the gooey stuff that you put down, not the spray. So if the cats ingest enough, and I don't know how much would be enough because this stuff's usually pretty lethal. It seems to be one of the better roach killer things that keeps them out, keeps them down and more managed and stuff. But they're constantly in the cat food dish, and we can't stop it. So if they have that stuff in them already, and then they get in the food dish, and then the cats end up eating them and not realizing they're eating them, they in turn are ingesting that poison. So that's always a danger. But again, it's not because we're purposely doing it. It's because we have no other way. We've got to be able to feed them. And we are trying to get rid of the roaches. We're trying to cut them down, but it just, it's not doing as good as we would like. And I think it's stress. I think it's the tininess of the apartment. Boo doesn't understand any more than any of us why Carmela and Kalika keep picking on him like they do. We just want them to stop, and they just. I thought, okay, are they stopping him from eating and drinking? God, I hope not. But we don't know what goes on when we're asleep at night. We don't know what kind of torment they put the poor thing through. We don't even know how much sleep he gets a lot of times because we don't know what they're. I just wish they would stop. And not knowing what they're doing, not knowing what's going on while we're sleeping, that hurts even worse. Because then we feel responsible for him being hurt because we don't know what's going on. Because we're sleeping. So, Mom got this crazy idea. And just because it's worked in other occasions, she seems to think that it's worth trying here. But I don't. So we're not going to do it. But she thinks that we should take some black coffee, put some liquid creamer stuff in it, put a little bit, take some bread and break it up small, put it in a little bowl or a dish with the coffee so that'll be nice and soft and easy for him to eat. But then there's been stuff like, while Boo was on the counter, Chris would put down his favorite foods and he wouldn't touch any of it. Even though Chris was standing right there and there was no way the girls would be able to come anywhere near him because Daddy wouldn't let them. He wouldn't eat any of it. Not even bread, and he loves bread usually. So, but I'm gonna light a candle. I wish I felt up to doing some of the funner stuff that I try to do. When I do a live randomly like this and. I worry about keeping you on here too long because I don't want to feel like I'm keeping you awake because I know you usually go to bed around now. It's like 1 o'clock there. So, but I wanted to give you an update, of what was going on and trying to stay positive. But as you just saw, I still have it's getting harder and harder for me to even look at him without crying. Because I see him dying and I can't do anything to stop it. And the one hope remaining means that he's still got to survive through another night. And meaning I'm afraid that I've been trying to, as you see, let him know, you can come over here, honey. I'll pet you. I'll love on you. And he's laying in the spot Daddy put him in last night. So hopefully they'll back off and finally leave him alone. I will try to not make it so long before I'm on here again when, some more of the gifts come in. As long as Maria's not up here, when some of them come in for her. Because the Temu ones are not even supposed to be showing up until around Wednesday of next week, between the 6th and the 14th. So, I'm not pressed about them showing up tomorrow or anything. At least 3 of them have shown up that I got from Amazon so far. And, it's just little by little. But I know now is a good time to get them going, so the earlier the better because the postal system being so screwy anymore. So I'm going to get off here so you can get some sleep. And I love you. I love the boys. Sorry to give such shock news about Michael, but again, I'm not trying to stick you in the middle. I'm just trying to keep you updated on, what's going on with us and everything. And I know that you would want to know about Boo. So love you. Blessed be. Good night. Thanks for hanging out for a minute. And I will try to get on here again soon. Okay. Blessed be, hun. Give the boys hugs and kisses for me.